So as we wait for more news regarding the Yankees, we wait for them to make a trade or just do something right now. I think it'd be a fun time to go over some Yankees who should have some bounce back seasons next year. Players who underperformed expectations or did not play as they normally did or had normally done in the past. Guys who just didn't do that well in 2022 and the stats say should rebound in 2023. So I have three players here. Let's get into this. The first one is Giancarlo Stanton. Stanton had a very bad 2022. He hit 211 with a 297 on base percentage, 462 slugging for an OPS of 759. That's just not very good for Stanton. He's still at 31 home runs in 110 games, but he wasn't hitting for average. The walks were down. He wasn't hitting as many doubles as he used to. And it's really odd considering he had an OPS of 870 in 2021. It was just a odd fall off for Stanton, and I was not expecting this at all. Now, the expected stats did think that he should have had a better year. So these stats work by looking at a player's launch angle and exit velocity to see what a player would or should have hit if they had average defense behind them. So every single time a player hits a baseball and the fielder makes a web gem and catches it, you can't really fault the batter for hitting it really well. Just a good job by the fielder. So expected stats give credit to the batter when they have good results like that, when they hit it hard and have a good launch angle. So his expected batting average was 240. His expected slugging was 477. That's a lot better there. That batting average is about 30 points higher, slightly higher slugging. If he performed as his expected stats believed he should have, he probably would have had an OPS right around 800. Not as good as we once expected, but at the same time, a lot better than what he did. So just looking at past performance and how his expected stats were better than his actual, I think Stanton's going to have a rebound in 2023. I think he's going to do a lot better, have an OPS back in the 800s, and just keep mashing, and that will be massive for the Yankees. The next guy is Jonathan Loáisiga. Do you remember how good Loáisiga was in 2021? He had a 2.17 ERA in 70 and two-third innings pitched. He was one of the best relievers in baseball in 2021. And then 2022 happened, and he had a 4.13 ERA in 48 innings. Yikes. That was not very good. That was very shocking for me in my mind, because there was nothing that really was saying, oh, Loáisiga is going to do poorly in 2022. I thought he was going to have a great year. But I think there are many reasons why I think he will return to his 2021 form. In the first half of 2020, Loáisiga had a 7.85 ERA and a 1.74 whip in 18 and a third innings. That is very bad. But in the second half, he was lights out. 1.82 ERA, whip of 1.011 in 29 and two-third innings. That was the Loáisiga we knew and loved. The second half, he was back to his great form. So I don't know if it was a mechanical issue we had in the first half, if he had an injury problem, if his arm was tired, if there was personal stuff in the first half. I'm not sure what caused his first half to go so wrong, but I think he's going to be back in 2023 and return to his elite form, and that's going to be massive for the Yankees bullpen. The final player on this list, the one I think is going to rebound the most, that's Gerrit Cole. Gerrit Cole, he was not the ace we thought we were going to get in last year. He had a 3.5 ERA, pitched about 200 innings, so a lot of volume, but 3.5. Yikes. But he was still very good. He had the third highest strikeouts per nine of all starters at 11.53. That's above his career average. His walks per nine were 2.2 per nine, which is below his career average. So, like, striking out a ton of guys, not giving up a ton of walks. What happened? The long ball happened. Home runs absolutely murdered Garrett Cole's season. He had 1.48 home runs per nine, the fifth highest in the majors, and his career average for home runs per nine is just one. So that's really crazy. That is a massive increase. But here's the thing. Home run rates vary year to year. Like sometimes a player will have, or a pitcher will give up a ton of home runs one season, the next they won't. They are odd, but they normally stabilize to about league average. And that's why I like the stat xFIP, which is expected FIP, and FIP is fielding independent pitching. So xFIP is a pitcher's ERA while only looking at a player's strikeouts, walks, and a league average home run rate. So what was Garrett Cole's xFIP? 2.77. That is the Garrett Cole we know and love. Next season, I think we're going to get the same volume out of Cole. 200 innings, but I think he's going to have an ERA much closer to 3, not the 3.5 we just saw. I think that while xFIP is not going to be exactly what it will be, I don't think he's going to have a 2.77. That ERA is going to be on the either high side of 2 or the low side of 3, not a 3.5. And that's what we want out of Garrett Cole. We want an ace who gives us about 200 innings and an ERA near 3. And I think we're going to get that next season. So those are 3 Yankees who I think are going to have bounce back seasons in 2023. If you have any other Yankees who you think are going to rebound, put their names in the comments below.